Just like that, we're back to the Zelda. Yeah, when they had Hurricane Imelda, I made a video. It was like the Legend of Imelda, but the hurricane wasn't that memorable. So yeah, I think the real suffering in these storms um, is when it knocks the power out for 7 days or a week, or maybe sometimes, God forbid, longer. Yeah, that's when the real suffering in a hurricane can happen, when it knocks the power grid out for a week or two, and there's devastation, and there's heavy flooding, and the heat swelters, and that's when the hurricane can be the most dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, some people do pretty good hurricane preps, and then some people kind of like screw around until the very last second, and then they're like, "Oh crap, I couldn't find water and stuff." And then I try to goad my family to get prepared and get stuff early. So, like earlier than they would normally. They'd usually try to do a. They usually would try to like wait around until the storm gets really fucking big and menacing, and you know wait until like the very last edge. But I'd rather like jump on it like you know a little bit quicker than that. But we'll get to enjoy the last blast of winter before we uh, start caring about hurricane season and the spring and the summer. Yeah. Do you think I'm Foxy? Yeah, that winter storm was what was interesting, because down here in Texas, we may never see in our lifetimes a winter storm, perhaps that bad, ever again in our lifetimes. So that's why it's such a fascinating storm. Like to see snowpacks in Houston, Texas again, and the Texas covered in snow and everything. Yeah, I know the climate change. Uh, yeah, it's not really. I mean, there's still climate change alarmists, scientists online, and there's still, kind of on corporate media, kind of an implication that severe weather of all kinds is evidence of climate change. But basically, people kind of laugh. They think that climate change, global warming was like this scam, this to sell green energy components from China, and so a lot of people still. Yeah, how do I feel about it? I think that the climate change cult was a scam by the elites to try to get people to buy solar panels and wind turbines from Japan. Sorry, from China. Yeah, it was a big, gigantic business scam. Like, yeah, I mean, as I said before, I'm not saying that there is no global warming or there is no climate change. I'm not saying there's no global warming, what they used to call climate change, but I think it's pretty much a business scam. Because if climate change was really true, then Al Gore would stop flying around the world in his private jet. So, oh, but rich people are allowed to burn huge amounts of hydrocarbons because they're special. Yeah, right. I don't think the public's ever going to really buy that shit. The general public. Yeah. So, since there's this gigantic bomb cyclone blizzard in New York in the Northeast, um, yeah, a lot of the comments are like, "Oh, and they said we were going to have global warming." Ha 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 ha. Yeah. But I'd rather, I like what George Carlin said before he died. He said, um, there was life on this planet before humans, and if the human race goes extinct, there'll probably be life on it after humans. And so he said, you know what, the Earth is a self-correcting mechanism, and it heals itself, it repairs itself, it cleanses itself, and I actually do believe that. So basically, George Carlin was saying that human beings really aren't all that important to the Earth. It gave birth to us, but it doesn't give a shit about us, uh, future wise. The Earth has lasted 4.6 billion years, and it will survive human beings too. So, so I say that the Earth's weather is based on its the rotation of its axis and its position relative towards its distance to the sun, and that creates the ice ages and the warm ages and the temperate ages and everything in between the spectrum. So obviously, if the Earth is in a period where it's closer to the sun, it's going to get warmer, and if it's farther away from the sun, it's going to get a lot colder into an ice age. So of course, there's the rotation of the tilt of the Earth's axis and the poles and the tides of the moon and the gravity, and it's complex stuff. But like George Carlin would say, pack your shit, folks, because the Earth ain't going anywhere. We are. And I actually do believe that. Yeah, I love those like George Carlin monologues before he died. Were very astute and observant, and really almost like Bill Hicks, almost like prophetic. What happens is like a socialist or a leftist pretends that he or she is not a capitalist, like Michael Moore, for instance. So he pretends like he's a communist or somebody like Michael Moore. They pretend so they can make money that they're a socialist or a communist, but they make millions of dollars pretending to be a communist. And so they're really capitalists. So they're full of shit. I mean, that's a clever scheme. Get a whole bunch of young people and then pretend like you're anti-capitalism. Capitalism is evil. Greed is out of control. And then while you rake in millions of dollars through your documentaries. Now that's, quite. Uh, that's a good racket. That's a good scam. Michael Moore's a pretty old liberal, so I don't know how. Always looks like he's 5 cheeseburgers in from opening up his own fast food place. So I don't know how long he'll be around, but yeah, I saw the conservative Dennis Prager on Mark Levin show, and he looked like he had a stroke, but he really just like busted his ass in the shower and broke his spine. And I usually I don't see somebody from a hospital bed unless you know. Um, I know Scott. I mean, I know you can't stream from your deathbed and stuff like that, but most people would choose not to. Scott Adams kind of made his final days, his final hours. I think he streamed everything, right? So I was kind of shocked because I saw Dennis Prager of PragerU in a incapacitated state, and so that was an interesting interview about his book, and it's called "If There Is No God," and then I guess it's like a case for. I suppose it's like a case for God, but it's not like convert or die or something. It's not authoritarian in nature. The book may not even try to convince people that there's a God. I believe the book concerns saying that, well, if there is no God, then there is no morality. I think that's his basic point. So he's saying if there's no God, then there would be no law, and without law, that morality would be relativistic. It would just be based on whatever individuals or groups felt like instead of some overarching um, good and definite overarching accepted view of good and evil, hierarchical view. Yeah, I mean, usually I would skip, Mark Levin because he would just be like, the Jews and the Democrats, and it would just be, an old man kind of like about to have a stroke because he's just, I don't know. Yeah. Usually I wouldn't watch that ridiculous shit, but there's not really good programming on Fox like on Sundays, so uh, But when Prager came on, oh man, I was like, well, at first, I was shocked because he was incapacitated, and I was like, I wonder why does he look like he's stroked out? And no, he was in the shower, and then he busted ass basically. Even at my age, like 45, you know, I've thought about it. What if I busted my ass right here? Coming out of the shower, it's not really when you're cleansing your balls when you're like 24 years old, you really don't think about that. But when you're like get a little bit older, you might think, what if I bust my ass? Yeah. If you just like rinsed off your butt cheeks and you're about to go out of a hot shower and you're like, 26 years old, you really don't give it a second's thought. But so apparently, when he busted ass, he hit his spine, and so he's now crippled from the. He's paralyzed from the shoulders down, but he can still speak and he can still breathe. So the doctors are saying it's a miracle. So for a guy who's paralyzed from the shoulders down, man, he could really speak very well. I was actually impressed, I would say. Yeah, I watch a lot of like PragerU videos, and like Charlie Kirk, I was not an acolyte, I was not a devotee, but I checked it out. Checked out whatever the YouTube and the conservative verse had to offer. I just made that up. Conservative verse. Conservaverse. Yeah. Yeah, you would say you could call it the conservative verse, or you can call it the conservative verse. I guess you could play it either way. That's isn't that the freedom of creativity? That's like the freedom to choose. Yeah. So the freedom of expression, uh, the United States of America. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Do the hokey pokey and shake it all about. That's what it's all about. All right, we'll get an actual mission structure. So yeah, we're gonna get back to the mission. Narco warfare. Mexico deploys air force as cartel weapons outgun local police in deadly raid. Oh man, this sounds like more epic than Scarface, the Mexican government versus the drug cartels. Damn. I bet the real war between the Mexican government and the drug cartels and the USA. I bet it's like more epic than any Brian De Palma Scarface movie. Because when you think about it, the drug cartels they rake in like billions of dollars every year on drug addicts, drug fiends, and killing people. and the Chinese communists, they provide the materials, so they make a lot of money off of, and they want to kill American people. So yeah, they make a lot of money. These guys. Yeah, I think one day I looked it up out of curiosity. I was like, well, what makes more money, Disney or the drug cartels? And it was like, I think it came out the drug cartels made more money. Who makes more money, entertainment or drugs? Turns out drugs. I know. I thought Disney would make more money though for some reason. I thought that like clean money would win, but not always. I guess that's just wishful thinking, thinking that just honest trades make the most money. That's just naive, isn't it? Okay, so we'll go to the cave. Uh, we did bring no food, dude. The Sternita Springs Cave for those taking notes. Yeah, I'm sure everybody has their adventure journal out right now. What? Oh, my boy. We found the secret drugs. The secret drugs. We found the secret drug. The secret dope. Found the secret cave to fentanyl. We're gonna find One-Eyed Willie's ship. Ah, we found the fortress, the fortress of solitude. Superman. No, I wish it was that. No, it's the cave of crystalline mushrooms and truffles. They have that Beatles song with George Harrison off the White Album. Better eat yourself for truffles. How high were they when they made that? I bet a lot of the songs that were just that when they're writing and they're like super high, super dope. But it made the music it made the music better. That's for sure. dropping that weed, dropping those tabs of acid. We all live in a yellow submarine. Better have yourself for troubles. Are we gonna break out our pots in the cave of wonders? Let's see if we can. Okay. Oh, we can fire up a little pot, a little cooking pot. No matter who you are, you're still a star. It, I remember the music from Savoy Truffles, but I don't remember the lyrics that accurately. What? Oh, dude. Maybe I'll call off my boys for a little while. Getting in the way of my cooking, interfering with my culinary masterpieces. But definitely. Wow. So do the is the Mexican government so corrupt that they're like totally controlled by the drug cartels, or only partially controlled, or if they get pissed off enough, they'll start wiping motherfuckers out, or is it like a civil war? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about the internal dynamics of narco terrorism inside of Mexico and the relationship to the government and to the armed forces there. I suppose I could read more about it and try to, you know, understand it, but I suppose I could. Or I just could not and just not. So that's another choice. Or we can just let that shit rip and let that bad boy just create more entertaining explosions or whatever. Let that bad boy create some Michael Bay explosions in real life. And well, I mean, I guess the situation goes into the crisis if they're kidnapping American tourists. Yeah, I used to know this couple that would go to Cancun and go to their vacation in Mexico all the time, and they would talk about it, and they'd go there all the time, and they'd always be taking trips to Mexico. So hopefully, the drug cartels don't take a lot of hostages from the states, or then the military's gonna start laying the smack down. Then we'll have ourselves a clear and present danger, but like in real life, and not just in a Tom Clancy novel. How dare you bark at me like some junkyard dog? I'm the President of the United States. Variable. This is 9. Over. Variable. This is 9. I I didn't read the Tom Clancy books, geopolitical thrillers. I just watched the movies. I thought The Hunt for Red October was kind of boring, and then I really like Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger a lot. And then The Sum of All Fears wasn't really that good. It was kind of it was kind of cheesy. I think it's because it had a bad script, and then um, kind of sucked. Meaty rice balls. All right. Let's get my boys back. And girls. All right. Yeah, I'm sure this U.S. assets in Middle East. U.S. military ready for a sustained, highly kinetic campaign against Iran as carriers deploy. Oh yeah, it's about to go down. I don't know if by theory if that Trump was going to hit Iran right before the State of the Union address. I don't know if that's, but it is a pretty fluid situation. I mean, nobody really knows except for him and his advisors and generals when they're going to strike Iran. So I just was guessing it would be before the State of the Union, but I'm not God and I can't tell the future. So there's that. That was just my estimated guess, but it could be totally and completely wrong. What most people do know for sure is that the Islamic Republic of Iran will be struck by the United States of America and Israel and allied forces. So I think That can be said with almost 100% certainty, maybe, or at least 99.9% certainty. You got certainly and then certainty. Or you could have certain certainty as well. Going to the top of the titty. Because you want to ascend to the titty. Ascend to the titty. Get to that highest nipple. Uh, my boy. Now that's a Twin Peaks. Where? Are the restaurants doing poorly these days? Yeah, they're closing down the Hooters. People are like, man, this shit's expensive. And then what? You got to leave a tip. So a lot of the service industries are going down because you have to order the expensive, not so good food, and then you have to leave a tip too. Man, in my day, I used to be able to get a tall beer for $3. Now they want to charge me 7. Hell with that. Stay at home and drink, man. Make my own shit. Like moonshining. Yeah, so I bet Hooters. I don't know if Hooters will totally go out of business. I mean, and Twin Peaks, but I bet it's hard times for the restaurants ever since the COVID experience began. The COVID experience, the severe acute respiratory syndrome 2. Well, I like my respiratory syndromes to be part 2 at least. At least I get a sequel out of it. Man. But not really counting on a trilogy though. Tell you that. So what's my name for the New York City mayor? The Nepo baby from Uganda, the Ugandan Indian guy. Yeah, 34 years old. I call him Moron. I decided to call him Moron Scam Commie, and then I was able to kind of cover his whole name. So there you go, Moron Scam Commie. Thought it was a pretty good one. Why didn't Zoran Mamdani's rap career take off? Damn it. If only he had been successful in rap. So what's in the news? War, attack, fires, explosions. Okay. So it's like a Michael Bay movie? Oh, wait. If it's a Michael Bay movie, you got to put in like some racism, though. Oh, shit. And you got to put, if it's a Michael Bay movie, you got to put like some racism, and then you got to put like a girl's ass bending over in slow mo. You have to make like a stereotypical black person, and then a slow shot of a girl's ass in black leather bending over. And your Michael Bay movie is complete. According to legend. No, I didn't really even catch like any racism in Michael Bay movies. It was until like like a Canadian, like a liberal friend watching The Rock with him, and he didn't say it was racism. He just said like, oh, that's like a stereotype of black people, and it's the part where the Ed Harris, the former soldier, locks up all the people on the tour, and then the black dude goes, "What kind of fucked up tour is this?" And then my friend said, "Oh, look, it's the," he said, "it's the stereotypical African. It's the typical stereotypical black comic relief." But do I think that Michael Bay is racist? No. I would say that he just makes entertaining movies, and that's about it. So I try not to read too much into it. It's funny if critics, the nostalgia critic or somebody else like reads into it, but if you're like making an action movie and there's a hot chick and she's bending over and there's a close up of her ass, it's probably just for entertainment reasons. If there are like ethnic and racial stereotypes in Michael Bay movies, it's probably just to be ridiculous to make the entertainment factor that much more. In my opinion, he just makes crazy ass entertaining movies. that aren't like politically correct or anything, and they're totally like anti woke, and they're pretty hilarious and entertaining films for the most part. Oh yes, in the Bible it says, yeah, I know people are quoting scripture all the time. In the end times, there will be wars and rumors of wars. Yeah, yeah, I see that quote all the time, like on the comment sections on the internet. Yeah, doesn't really even matter what site it is these days. Doesn't matter what institution it is. You always see that if there's an open comment section, you can usually see, and it's like an article in the media, and you might see that Revelations biblical passage. But I mean, it's kind of like I don't think it's really too deep. It's just if there's a wind, no wait, if there is air, there may be a breeze. It's sort of, I guess it's a little bit more specific than that, but the water may be wet and they could have waves and tides. I don't know. Light may give heat and energy. Hmm. Does it take a lot of effort to write something that sounds prophetic, though? Do you have to really, really be a good writer? I will give the Bible this, or John of Patmos, the author. I'll give him this. Um, in the end, there will be wars and rumors of wars in the end times. That was a great. I mean, if you're gonna make a prophetic revelations, that's an awesome one. It's vague, but also specific. So he created a prophetic passage that was specifically vague or vaguely specific. Going to the white, snowy peaks upon the mountain in search of the Burger King. Have they closed all the Burger Kings yet? Ah, can I not get a Wendy's chicken sandwich? Uh, Cartels attack Puerto Vallarta. Oh, taking that Spanish class really did wonders for you. Cartels attack Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta. It sounds so nice. Though I don't know what a Vallarta is. Is it just a name or does it mean something in Spanish? Ah, it's just a name, I guess. Vallarta refers to the Mexican city Puerto Vallarta and is a proper noun, not a common word with a direct everyday translation. The full name means Port of Vallarta, in English, named in 1918 to honor Ignacio Vallarta, a former governor of the state of Jalisco, replacing the old name Las Peñas. Okay, well, there's the little history on that on the AI Google. Very muy interesante. So it was just a name, and that's it. It didn't mean anything. It was just a dude who was a governor of Jalisco back in the day. Spanish governor. Okie dokie. Well, it was a fascinating read. Was it? Is it Google Gemini? Is the AI that's the one that powers Google search? Yeah, it's called Gemini. Fire's rage. Fire's rage. Over 100 blizzard bomb. Over 100,000 without power as historic nor'easter unleashes crippling snow, heavy winds. Wow, so many things happening. Yeah. Yeah. So the media is kind of signaling, and so is like the president and the buildup in the Middle East, like it's about to be on like Donkey Kong. While maybe some media outlets, so they don't appear wrong or trying to play dumb about it, trying to play coy, like, oh well, maybe there'll be a negotiation, but yeah. This is not just another day in the office for America, though, because the difference between like the Persian Gulf War and um, even the Iraq invasion of 2003, in the 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan, the difference is there's going to be not very many boots on the ground, I don't think, and there's not going to be quagmire for 20 years with American troops. So this basically going to be a coordinated just demolition of the Iranian regime, I believe, and then after that, the people are going to take over. I guess the Persians, the Iranian people. So after the military is or the leadership, the Islamic leadership is destroyed. So that's how I figure it's going to go. We got Northwest Cave. Oh yeah, Heber Mountains. Gnarly. Yeah, so Trump is not interested in getting involved in gigantic wars that bog the United States military down in some kind of nation building experiment. Definitely, not a 5-year war, not a 10-year war, not definitely not a 20-year war. So the idea is just regime change and to create a new government that causes peace and prosperity for the people in Iran and for the Middle East, and then therefore the world. So it's a nice game. They made it like camping. Ruta Food Shrine. So President Trump's State of the Union address is this Tuesday night. So might do a live on that one. So we'll check with the copyright. What can be streamed without a copyright infringement. I wonder if you got it like from C-SPAN. Could they give you a copyright claim or a strike or something? That's like the government channel, so they can't say like NBC has given you a channel strike because it's like public information. Yeah, they gave me a copyright strike on I think that YouTube, Google, Alphabet at the time didn't want Trump to be reelected, so they um, blocked out the debate with Trump and Joe Biden where his brain died. or NBC or CBS or ABC or somebody told them to take it down. But definitely that was politically motivated, not to want. So to me, I thought that live broadcasts of debates and like presidential addresses were just public domain. But sometimes I get confused about that. Yeah, if I like am a real old man one day, make it to elder age, and a younger person ever asked me, how was that Joe Biden presidency? I would just do a bunch of skits like hookah necker nerker ner corn papa Yankee spanking doodle dang. I'd just be like thinking of ridiculous things. Make my day, Bubba. Like just quoting a bunch of old man sounding Clint Eastwood quotes, and it would just be basically like a comedy if the younger person could actually understand what Clint Eastwood was. Make my day, punk. Do you feel lucky? Now do ya? I didn't even really watch that Dirty Harry movies. They came out before I was born, so it's just when Joe Biden was going senile, it's like he was having flashbacks to the 1950s or something, like when he was growing up, and he was given like old school masculine insults. Like, you better watch it, bub, like the Wolverine. You better watch it, Jack. I mean, just really old masculine taunts, and I was just thinking, my God, this guy's having dementia flashbacks to the 1950s or something. It's pretty awful. It's like he was in the 2020s, but he was kind of living back in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s or something. It was kind of strange to to witness that. I think it was kind of strange for most Americans to witness that. Even people that voted for Joe Biden must have been like sometimes uh, Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, what the fuck? Release the pots. Yeah, we got to. We're preparing for the war by getting our cook on. Well, I mean, in the Hyrule, not preparing for war, World War III or anything. Poop. Yeah, I did. I did work with this lady that she would say like she'd go poo. I always thought that was pretty funny. Poop. No, that probably made me laugh the most when Beth would go, "Oh, poo." Well, if it was entertaining, like in a boring like corporate workplace. Yeah, my last job, like one of my old managers, he came in and he had switched companies. He had switched to like Coca Cola, and he came in and he was like, "Oh, do you like your job better now?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is like way better," because we had worked at HEB together and it was awful. It was like Nazi. It was like a Nazi corporation. Yeah, I know a lot of people. They're like really surprised. You know, like if maybe some people aren't surprised, but if I ever tell them that I worked a retail job like Walmart, I'm like, man, that sucked. And then maybe a shopper has a different perspective because they don't have to work there, so they're like, oh, I love going to Walmart. So it is like a different kind of perspective for sure. So there is definitely a difference between working somewhere and shopping there, or getting goods and services from a certain place. So some people might say like, I love shopping at HEB. I love their meat prices. That's like the shopper's perspective. But if you work there for like 5 years, you would have a different perspective, like on how fantastic Howard E. Butt's grocery stores were. Let me out this mountain. Sell me spot. Ooh. Wait, you have a boyfriend? Uh, oh, they got plenty of wine. Got your boy Russ. Got your boy Finn. There's Selmy. At least you got 2 bottles of booze. That's it. That's too sober for me. Bye. So the Trump military strategy seems to be efficiency, like, yeah, less like a general's perspective, more like a businessman's uh, cost benefit analysis. So, I mean, of course, he has military advisors, but his style of in and out, you know, limited injuries and casualties, like make it quick and clean, make it definitive. So I would say President Donald Trump has a very good team, and Pete Hegseth, and great strategists, military strategists, great generals, and so on, but and admirals and all that stuff, captains and etc. But he's got great joint chiefs of staff and all the rest of it. But his style is very get the job done, but don't have a lot of collateral damage. So that's pretty good. And definitely not a lot of financial damage for sure. And definitely not health damage, heavy U.S. Casualties or injuries. So that's pretty groovy. Yeah, I know somebody wrote in the comment section. It was like, what did um, I think the question was, what did Iran do to America? Well, it's wow. Since 1979, you want me to do the whole list? Didn't they hijack Olympians in Munich? Okay. I mean, what? I mean, the complete list has got to be pretty epic. Torture, imprison, or kill their enemies. Aid and abet terrorist organizations like the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, ISIS, and ISIL. I mean, did he really want a full list? I mean, the full list of Iranian transgressions is probably, at least a few pages long, if not longer than that. So against the United States, its soldiers, its people, um, it persecutes its own people. It's killed 30,000 of its own people just recently during the protest uprisings. So yeah. Tried to build nuclear weapons so they could destabilize the Middle East and just try to destroy Israel. So yeah, they've done quite a lot of bad things, evil things. I think when President George W. Bush in 2003 announced the invasion of Iraq, he called, in his State of the Union, wasn't it he called North Korea, Iran, and Iraq the axis of evil. So I guess there's two axis of evil members left. And I guess there's going to be only one more axis of evil member left pretty soon. Yeah, that was one of the funniest things about living in the 2000s was whether it was rock groups I was hanging out with, they were saying, F George W. Bush, and I never really got emotional like Radiohead about George Bush. I never really got that emotional. It wasn't that he was from Texas. It wasn't even because I really liked him. I didn't even think he was really all that bright. Um, it wasn't like a Texas thing. It wasn't anything like that. It was just kind of like, well, you know, I don't like totally hate the guy. Like, I don't think he's, you know, uh, conspiracy theories about 9/11 aside, I don't think he's really an evil. I don't think he's an evil man necessarily. So I wasn't. I didn't have a lot of emotional vitriol against George W. Bush. So I wasn't going to make an entire album about how much I hate George Bush or something like that. Like Radiohead. It seems like I understood both sides because the 2000 election was highly contested and there were some kind of shady shenanigans going on uh, in Florida. So there might have been some shady stuff going on to give Florida to Bush so he could defeat Gore. But um, shadiness aside, I can't really say that the election was stolen for sure. I really can't say that 9/11 was an inside job. I could conspiracy theory out the ass, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't know that stuff. Just as being a regular, ordinary citizen. But I was really amused how emotional people were getting about George W. Bush, and how vitriolic, like I hate Bush, fuck Bush, getting really just intense with it. not just Radiohead, but like just my coworkers and people I was meeting. I think the funniest was when I worked at this liquor store. There was an Armenian guy named Vladimir, uh, and Vladimir would make me laugh because he would say like "fuck Bush," and in his like Russian accent, say like "man, fuck a Bush." It's See, if someone says like "fuck Obama" or "fuck Joe Biden" or even "fuck Trump" or whatever, it's not as funny as like somebody going "fuck a Bush" in a foreign accent. Fuck Bush. So that used to always kill me. Yeah. Yeah. I always thought that the 2000 election, George W. Bush won that one because Al Gore was too stale and he couldn't convey his passion for the future of America or the American people. So I think that's why it's lost. Like Tony Robbins would say, if you just cared a little bit more, if you just gave it more passion, like you would have had that sucker. I actually do believe that. And also a Green Party member named a consumer rights advocate called Ralph Nader entered the race as a third party and took away Democrat votes. So Al Gore was defeated by like how lame he is, and he was also defeated by basically Ralph Nader, the third party, the Green Party candidate, taking away his votes. Ice, ice, dragon. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, you know what? Before I fight this Gleok. I would like to see that one day, like in real life, though. A moose. I'd like to go up to Canada, go to a go to like a park and see a moose. I mean, not get killed or anything, but like just observe them without getting killed. The moose is loose. Hmm, crap. It takes it takes 8 arrows. What? 9 arrows? Give me a break. That's bull balls. Hey, Tuna. I love you, baby. Hmm. Oh, Tula came to lay down. She's so adorable. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Man, he balls. He balls. If you hit him right in the ass, okay. Up the poop chute. All right. Let's get this bad boy in. Prepare the cannons. What would they say? Like an old movie, like an old war movie. Like prepare the batteries for assault. Prepare the arsenal. Prepare my legions. Once more to the breach, dear friends. Cry havoc, and let's slip the dogs of war. Actually, that's the play that they would. That's the play they made us read in high school. Julius Caesar. Yeah, that was in 10th grade. That was in sophomore English class. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was okay. Romeo, Juliet, and Julius Caesar, but kind of might have enjoyed Othello or Macbeth. But oh well. That's what they chose for the curriculum that particular time. Oh. Oh. Oh, crap. How's the plan working? I don't even think I got one shot on her, to be honest. Oh, well. Time to go back to dragon slaying basics here. Get that metal bud. Okay. Metal bud. Oh, it's not. Yeah, let's look at the situation. Hey, Tula. I love you, girl. Oh, you okay? You like your monkey? Your daddy's good, huh? Oh. Wow. I know if I can sit tonight, this is not okay. I love you, brother. Sword isn't strong enough, huh? Not really. Yeah. Okay. I know I'm doing it. Alright. Cinch your face. Ah, do you think I was going to run away? Fire. Ooh. Did that work? Probably not. Oh, crap. Crapoopa. Alright. Damn it. Better be quicker on the draw. We got. Oh. Hit him with the muddle bud again. Yeah. Kind of going sideways. Horrible. There you go. Yeah, do it. Oh, I didn't know that wakes them up. Shit. All right. Ah. Okay, there we go. Broke another bow. Oh, does it? It breaks my spell. Man, that's bullcrap. Let me speed up the process. What a yeah. Shit. I think let's get ready to rock steady. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Muddle Bud first. Oh. Oh, that's stocking. Good, that's good. Oh crap! Broke a royal guard. All right, take him out. Ah. Oh, it's only the flame Gleox that give guts, or the multi Gleox. Crap. Nation descends into chaos as government takes out infamous cartel kingpin. Well, if Mexico becomes too unstable in the border wars, the heavy metal band Sepultura. I know they have that heavy metal song, Border Wars. Yeah, so if Mexico becomes too unstable, I'm sure uh, Trump's troops will, American troops will, or air assets, naval assets will intervene. You can't have Canada and Mexico unstable if they're right next to the United States, so that just can't happen. Or that will not be tolerated or allowed, just like American tourists being taken as hostages will not be allowed either. So there are some obvious red lines. So Trump will just take out the drug cartels and just yeah, I think mostly in a lot of American history, Americans have um, lived in a world with drug cartels and in power south of the border. But yeah, it would be interesting to live in a world where they didn't exist anymore. Yeah, I think I think the young men that attacked that Las Vegas power substation in a rice burner car against a fortified electric fence. I think that guy's, fucking mentally insane or just insanely stupid. And the people attacking Mar-Lago, I think those people are mentally ill too. Either they're super radicalized by the left or they're mentally ill or both. It's like it's almost like nobody told these people what their plan was and read it aloud to them. Okay, so your plan is to do what now? Attack a highly fortified fence with a rice burner car at high velocity. It's like the people trying to attack the White House, you know? It's like, so your plan is to ram your substandard vehicle into the front entrance gate, alerting all the US armed forces and security at the same time. So that's your like brilliant your brilliant plan. Yeah. Well, as Bill Hicks used to say, some of these people aren't physics majors. Come here, come here. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of actually good for authorities if people are really stupid and they're mentally ill, because it's like it's easier to kill or capture those people, that are unstable like that. Time to have a little TP time, but not toilet paper, but like Indian TP. Do you have enough toiletries? Fear not. Have you been saving up for World War III? Make some herby crab. Why not? Yeah, I haven't made my fajita wraps yet. Maybe I'll make some. Yeah, I know Taco Bell. It's like a mystery meat. I know fast food is dying and global corporations destroying fast food, and I know the quality sucks. And I know the last time some people went to Taco Bell, they're like, what is this? And why is it so expensive? And it tastes like shit compared to the old days. Yep. So if I'm gonna make some like Taco Bell nostalgic type experiences, I think I might make myself like a grilled cheddar, wrap with some Howard E. Butts tortillas. And so that'll get my fix for a nice like chicken wrap, cheddar chicken, Mexican style wrap, tortilla wrap. Mm, let's get some spicy beef, onion, something. Oh, yeah. Oh, something happened to my Dredge report page. Whoa. Explosions on the screens everywhere. Now, the reason why the Persian Gulf War was so interesting because it was, I think it was the first war that was broadcast on a cable news network, CNN. So it was like 24-hour coverage of a war, and nothing like that had happened since. Well, I don't think since ever. I mean, I guess the Vietnam War was covered pretty well, but not as thoroughly as the Persian Gulf War was in the early 90s with the first Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, H.W. It was kind of interesting when they would sensationalize the Bush girls going out to like clubs, but they were like young women, going out, on a Saturday night and partying a little bit, and but the media, the tabloids would go crazy like these wild, wild girls. We've never seen girls go this wild before. The president's daughters are unhinged party animals. Yo, we need to get another omelet up in here. Yeah, so I've been kind of dreaming and making like some really nice, grilled wraps, and get some wrap. I mean, I could just cook the chicken in a pan, but you know, either way, I'm gonna make some cheesy tortilla wraps, kind of like wannabe chicken soft tacos from Taco Bell, and so I'm gonna try to do that. Oh, prayers for the Northeast and Maine and New Jersey and New York and all the people in the blizzard bomb. It's epic blizzard snowstorm up there in the northeastern United States. Um, Gotta make a soup. Gotta feed the troops. Yo. So, I mean, I know the Vietnam War, I believe, was heavily covered by journalists, but I want to say um, that was a controversial war because it was a war that a lot of Americans didn't want to fight, and then so it's like a major quagmire because you couldn't. It was a limited war, I I don't want money, but ladies have other gifts. Okay, so we're threesome. Okay, we didn't get threesome. We got spicy tomato soup. Uh oh, Nat's into Link. Oh, I totally I don't remember this subplot like at all. Everything on Fox News is like total warfare. It's like total. It's like narco warfare. It is some pretty dramatic battles. Yeah, it is some pretty dramatic explosions for sure. Oh yeah, it does look rather wild. Get out of my cave, Dave. Yeah, I remember last night that I talked about like screwed up Muppets. And I said, "Tickle me, Helmo," and then I added another part. I thought about it today. What if it was called "Tickle Me, Hell Mode"? Yeah, "Tickle Me, Hell No," and then you turn it into "Tickle Me, Tickle Me, Hell Mode." Well, I'm just tickle pink. Urgh. Kite. I can't have kite shield. Yeah, I can. I got rid of Fred Flintstone shield for the joy of kite shield. Yeah, this is the last of our cold snaps in Houston, Texas, and then after that, it's gonna be springtime. Yeah, so in the Persian Gulf War, um, it was not an unpopular war. It wasn't a divisive war, and it wasn't a long war. And so, and it was one of the first wars that American people could watch on a cable network 24/7. So the first Iraq War was easy in comparison to the second one. Uh, but I think the United States of America has sufficient naval and air power to and drones. Advanced drones is a form of fighting that was not necessarily available in previous wars. Artificial intelligence, um, all sorts of other factors. Space Force, that wasn't around until Trump. So, But the United States of America military should be able to take out the Ayatollah and the IRGC pretty fairly easily, and the Israeli Defense Force and other allies. And of course, the Iranian people and the Persian royalty await to take their country back for their people. So, not saying it's going to be easy, but hopefully executed well, so there's not a lot of collateral damage, a lot of injuries or casualties for allies. Would they finally have peace in the Middle East, except for radical Islamic terrorist groups? Uh, yeah, I would say probably pretty the closest the Middle East has ever gotten to having a peace, most likely. In terms of the Russian-Ukrainian war, it looks like Vladimir Putin's coming up on the fourth year of the illegal invasion of the Ukraine. Looks like a million plus wounded or dead, crippled. Looks really bad for the Russian Federation. And in addition, a lot of people inside the Russian Federation are, uh, I've heard about unrest from inside the country. So, not a so Vladimir Putin and the Soviet imperialist and the Russian people do not seem to be having a wonderful time over there. So In addition, plus there's the continued sanctions by the Western powers in Europe and allies. So So the pretext for the 2003 invasion by George W. Bush to invade Iraq in 2003 was that the media said that there was weapons of mass destruction. As it turns out later, there were no weapons of mass destruction. It was just that George W. Bush and Dick Cheney wanted to get rid of Saddam Hussein. And so seems kind of personal because he disobeyed his father in the Persian Gulf War and so on. So it might have been a personal beef. Uh, but after the terrorist attacks in New York City, it's September 11, 2001. Basically, whoever was the president could basically almost do anything that commander in chief wanted. So, what's the pretext for taking out um, the Islamic Republic of Iran? They're not going to say weapons of mass destruction and lie to the American people. It looks like it seems like from the interviews of people in the Trump administration that they keep saying, well, Iran's going to get a nuclear weapon, and we can't allow them to get a nuclear weapon. They're rebuilding their nuclear program, so we have to. They're not negotiating, so we have to take them out. So that's basically, I mean, that is they're saying something factual, but they're not lying. But if there's people that are skeptical in the American public, um, I was sold on the idea a long time ago, like for all the aforementioned reasons. But let's say there's Americans that are skeptical. All right, so then the Trump administration comes out and says, you know, Iran is bad. They're part of the axis of evil. They want to create weapons of mass destruction, nuclear weapons. They destabilize the Middle East, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe those skeptical Americans would say, oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, take them out. They're evil. They're bad. Do it. And so yeah, how come people bought it? Before social media, before internet media and internet journalism, there was only, like newspapers, um, and the big three networks: CBS, ABC, and NBC, and then of course CNN. And then I guess by that time they already had MS, Microsoft, NBC going on. Cable news networks, and of course Fox News. So when the U.S. president and all the media told American people, "Hey, we're going to invade Iraq because they have weapons of mass destruction, then most people said, oh, okay, cool, good deal. Go ahead. They're evil. They got weapons of mass destruction. So we believe everything you say because, well, you're the boss. And sure thing. Yeah. But that time was a big fat lie. Hey, Tina. Oh, you getting snuggy, baby? I love you. Yeah. Yeah, there was a. Oh, do you have to? I forgot how to do this once, huh? Totally. Dude. Just going kaput. No, I don't think it's. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Dandy night, dandelion. Ooh. Bye bye. There you go. I love you, dude. You like all your monkeys? Don't worry. It's just nice for them. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's getting kind of nippy in the morning. What, it's down to 38 or something? Not too bad, but just gonna say goodbye to the winter, at least down here in Houston. Uh, looks like those in the Northeast will be dealing with the winter problems for a little while longer. Hopefully not catastrophically, but almost got a midnighter on that 223. I am Shredder. Tonight I dine on turtles. Ah, I look like a Lego. Long live the Aztecs. Seems an interesting experience. Is this an elevator? What's up? A boy or nest? Oh. Oh, what am I supposed to do? What? Oh, I gotta. It's like a. It's almost like an arcade, huh? Oh man, I'm not ready for this, bro. Oh, okay, this one. I'm not good at this one, dude. Poo poo. Oh. And then say you suck. It's like I know I sucked at that game. Hmm. Actually, I was just hoping it was the elevator. Seriously. My favorite bridge is Rickety Bridge. Yeah, it's like the dogs already know when it's getting colder. Like, because they always seem to snuggle up and get ready like a little bit like they could feel the air temperature dropping or something. Uh, yeah. 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 Call this the wagon wheeler. Yeah. No, that was a ride at Astroworld. Yeah, it was called the wagon wheel. It was fun as shit. It was just a wheel that would just spin around, and that was it. And you would just be laughing your ass off the entire time. Like fun wasn't really complicated back in the day. It was just being on a roller coaster or something. Yeah, maybe some people they're like, well, how did people have fun? Like with they didn't have like a million gadgets and internets and tablets and laptops and all this shit. They had, there was like they had like original fun, which was like sex or music or booze or whatever. Went outside, touched grass, uh, went camping, all sorts of fun shit, fishing and whatever. Did art, whatever the case may have been. So yeah, I mean, yeah, even the caveman could be entertained, or the cave woman by something. Caveman didn't need a laptop. Is this gonna do it? Yeah. Uh oh. No, we had a. Oh. Ah, oh. A Neanderthal Cro-Magnon man didn't need a computer phone. But he might have had to gone to the Neanderthal. The Neanderthal. Yeah. Why don't you go to the Neanderthal? I, yeah, but I don't even want to go to the mall though. Oh, in the process of trying to be a badass, I destroyed all the eggs. Man, had to come out, had to come up like Thor, wielding the Stormbreaker and shit. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That Avengers Doomsday. Like, how are they going to make that after whatever 30 movies or whatever it's been? How are they going to make that fresh and original when it's not anymore? So it looks like NASA is going to delay the Artemis launch again because of helium leaks. But it's better to be safe than sorry. So that would look pretty bad if the United States returned to the moon again after 50 years and there was a major accident or something terrible happened. So to Artemis 2 crew. Oh, I guess that is definitely like the 2 crew. So instead of like the 2 live crew, that's going to be the 2 crew for real. The real 2 crew. Artemis 2 crew. But I doubt they'll form their own hip hop band after that. Well, never say never. Well, if they don't launch in March, then hopefully they'll March. They'll launch in April. So, all right. Let's at least try to complete part of the mission. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Beam me up, Scotty. I always thought it was funny being a Scot when people would say, they would say, "Beam me up, Scotty," and then somebody else would be around and they would say, "Yeah, beam me up way out of here. I want out of here." Like, beam me all the way out of this. Yeah. Yeah, somebody would say, "Scotty, beam me up." And then another person would say, "Be me all the way out of here. Be me far away from here." Be me the hell out of here. Be me far, far away in a galaxy far, far away. Or Phil, he's 93 years old. He's probably going to pass away soon. Seems like he's deteriorating very rapidly based on the last few weeks of chats on the phone and a few Zoom calls. Looks like it might be the final days or hours of Philip, old friend and neighbor. Um, wish him Godspeed to the next whatever is in the afterlife. Uh, I know he's an atheist, but still. I wish the atheists Godspeed to the next uh, after world. But his old expression was, "Stop the world, I want to get off," he would always say. Sometimes he would say that to me drunk too after we had a few drinks. "Stop the world, I want to get off." And he would get, even though that was like an antiquated expression from like the 19, I don't know, 1930s, 1940s, 1950s or something. We still found it charming, however. Oh, you know what? We're gonna turn this down because it's gonna get gnarly. Yeah. Yikes. Oh, that's fine. Oh, try turning it. Yeah, I can't really because the beams. Yeah, activate this. All right, forget about it. You're gonna face the wrath of the muddle bud. All right, so this. Dun, dun. That power of ice, ice, baby. Let's rock and roll. All right. Let's rock them. Oh, shit. Hurry now. Oh. Da-da. What? Oh, the skies have a 100%. Oh, dude. Oh, they don't drop it every time. Only the sky Gleox. Man. Oh well. Alrighty. Alright. Dog snoring. Tula's settled in. And so they are tired. And I'm going to go ahead and God bless. Best of success. Yeah, seeing Dennis Prager in such a predicament. Um, yeah, my grandmother's still hanging in. Phil's still hanging in. But for how long? Only God only knows. Oh boy. All right, here's to a wonderful end of February. And only time will tell how fabulous it will be. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Is that what he says? I don't know. I'll have to watch the Truman Show. To a brand new day of a brand new week. Opportunity. could speak. Hmm. Ah, boy. We'll free one of my free last one of the one more of the Japanese forest spirits of Shintoism. I'm gonna proceed on to the realm of rapid eye movement. Hopefully, stage 4 sleep tonight. Deep REM, deep subconscious spiritual meditation and regeneration. So, if we're lucky. I don't have narcolepsy. I have narcopepsy. Narcopepsy? No, I don't. Last joke of the night? Yeah, that's my old boss. He would always say that. Last joke of the day. Or he'd say, like, last joke of the night.